When you enter the workforce, you'll find that in addition to your salary, companies will often offer an employer benefits package. Employees' benefits are non-wage compensations provided to employees in addition to their normal wages or salaries. Employee benefits are designed to increase the employee's financial security, and in doing so, it improves worker retention across the organization. When you are offered a job, it's important to evaluate the employer's benefits package in addition to your salary. Common employer benefits are savings plans, insurance, time off, including sick and vacation time, stock purchase, educational reimbursement, incentive plans, and cafeteria plans. You might also have a choice of qualified plans wrapped in your employee's benefits package. Employer retirement accounts are qualified plans designed to help you save for retirement. They are funded with pre-tax contributions, which are taken from your gross income before taxes. These plans are tax favored, which means you pay the taxes when you withdraw the money to use during retirement. Tax deferral also allows your investment to compound more quickly, resulting in more money for retirement. Some employer retirement plan types are a SEP, known as a Simplified Employee Pension. A self-employed person may deduct up to 15% of their profit on the business by investing in a SEP. 401k is a defined contribution plan offered by a corporation to its employees, which allows employees to set aside tax-deferred income for retirement purposes. In some cases, employers will match their contribution, but you should fund your plan whether your company matches or not. A 403b is found in nonprofit organizations, such as churches, hospitals, and schools. A 457 is a deferred compensation, which means you are deferring or putting off compensation. Usually this is available for government employees. You might be wondering, where does the term 401k come from? 401k refers to the section of the tax code that discusses this sort of retirement plan, as does 403b and 457. Do not use guaranteed investment contracts, also known as a GIC, or bond funds to fund your plan. This is like a certificate of deposit inside your 401k. You will only make about 3 to 4%, and it will not help you long term. Retirement loans are something you should never do. You don't want to borrow against your retirement plan, ever. Even though you have to pay yourself back some interest, it's nowhere close to what it would have earned if you had left the money in the investment. The employer retirement plans are a great way for you to reach your 15% and to help you reach your retirement goals.
Now we're going to talk about things like IRAs and 401ks and 403bs and 457s and all that stuff in another lesson where we talk about how to shelter, how to put a code around these different investments. But I want to close up with this. Not long ago, I was meeting with a guy having lunch. Now, I told you, I like to hang out with somebody who's done something I haven't done to be able to learn from them. This guy's 72 years old, and he's a billionaire. A billionaire. That's 1,000 million. Okay? You're beginning to get this. This is a lot. It's a lot more than I've ever seen. So when I have lunch with him, I've got my yellow pad out, and I'm taking notes. I don't want to talk here. I'm not here to teach. I'm here to learn. I'm sitting at the feet of the master. This guy's got a strong Christian faith. He's got a wonderful family. He's got a wonderful business. His life is pretty awesome looking in from the outside. I know folks have problems, and he probably has his share. But he's got $1 billion, and I want to know how you do this. I want to learn from him. You know what I'm saying? I've been blessed in the last few years to have lunch with several billionaires. I used to go have lunch with millionaires. Now I am one. I want to meet with billionaires. Okay? These guys, there's only about 300 of them in the United States right now. It's pretty amazing. So, you know, they're fairly rare breed. So I'm sitting and talking to this guy, and I said, all right, so if you were me and you were my age, you know a lot about what I do, what would you do? Great question, right? And he thought for a minute, and he said, well, there's 2 things that you must do if you want to win. I went, oh, good. I can do this outline. 1, 2. This one I can do. It's always simple, isn't it? He said, one, I hear you on the radio when someone's hurting. I hear you give them a free book or you put them through your course. I hear you do that all the time. If you ever stop doing that, I'm going to call you and bust you. Because he says, I've never met anybody who wins at money that doesn't give. And he said, you keep that giving spirit if you want to win. Check, I can do that one. I got that one. We can do that. Second thing is, there's this book I read. Now, I'm a huge reader. I believe in reading. Leaders read. Everybody that wins is a reader. So I'm a book nut. I got books everywhere. And I'm going, book, oh good, I'm going to write the book down. What's a book? This guy's got a book for me. I want the book. He goes, this book is so good. He said, I read it to my grandkids over and over and over again. Really? Your grandkids? I knew this stuff was simple. I tell people it's simple. Here I am. It's proven my theory. It's right. Simple. And he says, have you ever read the book, The Tortoise and the Hare? And I went, that's what you've got for me? The Tortoise and the Hare. And he said, yeah, Dave, I read The Tortoise and the Hare all the time. He said, I read it to my grandkids over and over and over again. He said, we live in a culture full of hares. The whole culture's ADD. They all need Ritalin. I mean, they're going bananas, you know? He said, there are so few tortoises. And he said, every time I read the book, the tortoise wins. Every time. I'd never get to the end of it. Chris is 22 years old, sends me an email. I love this when a 22-year-old asks a question like this and is at college. So smart. He says, what are the common traits of a millionaire? Well, Chris, you already have one of them. It's asking questions and learning and growing. The average millionaire reads a nonfiction book a month. Find people that are what you want to be, figure out what their habit patterns and character traits are, and become one of them, then you will become one of them. And so you're on track to do that already by just asking this question. Very smart. Great book out by Tom Stanley called The Millionaire Next Door, where he studied millionaires. It's the consummate study ever done of a group of millionaires and what their traits are. Number one, they usually buy and drive used cars. A lot of them are self-employed. Most of them are first-generation rich, meaning they didn't start with daddy's money. And so that tells you and me, regular guys like us, we got a shot at becoming a millionaire. So you live on less than you make, you're conservative, and let me tell you one of the key qualities you'll find with the typical millionaire I've met with over the years. They really have almost no need to impress you. You know, all these other people run around trying to impress everybody. They're the ones that are broke. They're what people in Texas call big hat, no cattle. And so you need to actually have a plan where you don't care what the broke people think. And if you don't care what the broke people think, dude, you are on your way to being a millionaire. And then lastly, don't try to get rich quick. The best way to get rich quick is to get rich slow. You're on your way, man.
Believe it or not, anyone can become a millionaire, regardless of what you come from, the background, how much money your parents have. You can become a millionaire if you focus. You have to begin to take steps that are going to help you. As you approach adulthood and start to think about your future, you have to ask yourself, are you really ready to be financially responsible for yourself? If you answered no, you're not alone. A recent study by the Jumpstart Coalition found that over 75% of young adults believe that they weren't ready to make smart financial decisions for themselves. You have to remember, you know how to work the system. You know how to work a game plan where you begin to budget, you begin to save, and you attack debt. That's how you become a millionaire. So whether you've ever stepped foot in a bank or you're actively saving and investing for your future, all it takes is a little effort. A lot of patience for you to become confident in your financial decisions. Remember that you can take advantage of compound interest. Here's a little secret. Compound interest is a millionaire's best friend. It's really free money. Seriously. But don't take our word for it. Let's take another look at the story of Ben and Arthur from chapter 2. Remember that Ben invested $16,000 over 8 years, and Arthur invested $78,000 over 39 years. Believe it or not, Ben came out ahead, $700,000 ahead. How did he do it? Starting early is the key. He put in less money, but started 8 years earlier. That's compound interest for you. Remember I told you, money starts to make money, and then that begins to make money. It's a snowball effect. So it turned $16,000 into almost $2.3 million. And since Ben invested earlier, the interest kicked in sooner. So compound interest is your friend, but you have to leave it sitting. You have to let it grow. Remember, your investment is for later. Compound interest can help your money grow more money.
Let's say you win the lottery. Pretty big deal, right? But that doesn't mean you're automatically set for life. It might sound crazy, but the truth is most lottery winners don't know how to handle large sums of money. And some even up going bankrupt. Instead of trying to get rich quick, you should focus on learning how to manage your money as it grows. And here's the deal. Investing just $100 a month for 40 years at 12% growth equals $1.1 million at retirement. That's much better odds than playing the lottery. Believe it or not, one day the 50-year-old version of you is going to love the young high school version of you listen to this. But right now, you're in high school, so I totally understand that the last thing on your mind is retirement planning. As an adult in my 20s, I'm telling you, this is really exciting stuff. Planning for your retirement means planning to be a millionaire. Remember to choose an investment advisor who you trust, one who has the heart of a teacher, who's willing to explain all the details to you. Never sign the dotted line if you don't totally understand what you're agreeing to. Don't just nod and pretend you get it. Make sure you actually get it. Read all the documents twice and ask plenty of questions. It's your money. You're the only one who tells it what to do. The investor is simply there to help your money grow. So don't just sit around waiting on someone else, the government, your parents, or the lottery to pay your way. Take responsibility. Invest wisely and you will build wealth. Think about what you could do, where you could go, what you could start, how much you could give with millions of dollars.